Namaste viewers, welcome to Gnanadegula channel. Today we will try to go through the 22nd Sutra. 22nd Sutra from the Vibhuti-pada of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. The sutra is like this, it goes like this. Sopakramam, nirupakramam cha karma tat-samyamād aparānta-jñānam ariṣṭebhyo va. Let us go to the complete meaning of that. But before we go to the details, I request you to please like, share and then subscribe to my channel. Now here, let us go through each word and then its meaning. Sopakramam means karma which is already operative, which is set in motion, which is presently active, that is karma. That means present life. Nirupakramam means dormant, not yet active, stored up karma destined to unfold later. Cha, together, both of them put together. That is the previous karma and then the present karma. Of course, karma is actions, all kinds of activities, cultural activities. Culture means what that happens, that is thoughts, speech, actions, deeds, so many things, everything that we do that create results, everything. There's nothing like there's no gap, everything that we do, that is karma. Tat-samyamād. Tat, all those things. Samyamāt means restraining all those things by complete restraint. Samyama is concentration, meditation and absorption. When you apply all these things to them, apply to them. Siddharana, like this. Dhyana, dharana, all those things, samyamani, all these things. Aparānta-jñānam. He says knowledge of the other end, outer end. That means the knowledge of the death, time of death and what happens at the time of death and what happens after this. Aparanta-jñānam. The death and what after the death. Ariṣṭebhyo va. Or by observing certain other things also, omens, bad omens, good omens, portents, what they call it as, ariṣṭa, that is signs of approaching death. Ariṣṭebhyo va. So, the translation simply is by adhering or by applying to samyama on active and dormant karmas, yogi gains knowledge of the time. Yogi gains the knowledge of the process of the death. And yogi gets the knowledge of the journey beyond this death. Of course, he gives some other thing also, that the same knowledge can also come through observation of omens and portents. Omens and portents will give you some hint. Let us try to understand a little more deeper. According to Patanjali, there are two forms of karmas. One is sopakramam, that is active karma. This is karma that is active in motion. That is karma which is producing results. For example, if you planted a seed years ago, today it's giving fruit. This is active karma, which you will reap the benefit immediately. That is active karma. Nirupakramam means dormant. This karma is stored as an account, is stored, but not yet producing results. It will not produce results. It is like seeds kept in some kind of a box, some kind of a, you are stored, you are not given any opportunity for them to sprout and then give results. So it is waiting for the right conditions to sprout and then give results. This is Nirupakramam and Sopakramam. Sopakramam means which you are doing it rather than getting the result. Nirupakramam means you are not doing anything, but still it is there in the seed form. Together, these two karmas, they decide how long life continues in the body, how long they continue, and how it will end also. Now, the second aspect here is the yogi who performs samyama, dhyana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, all those things, that is deep concentration plus meditation plus absorption. On these karmas develops intuitive perception. He will get some kind of an intuition where he will learn when life energy will withdraw from the body, how the transition, death will happen, how this transition will happen. So what kind of afterlife or next birth is destined. So this is not guesswork. This is a kind of a direct vision into karmic currents which shape the existence. They are not guesswork, they are direct visions. Now, another aspect is knowledge of aparanta, the other end. Aparanta, para, like this, it goes. The word aparanta literally means the other shore, the other side of the bank. That is, here it is the end of the embodied life. This embodied life, this is an embodied life, life with all these features that we have, this is the end of this life and the entry into the next plane of life. For ordinary people, death is a kind of a mystery. They don't know what death is. Death is full of fear. They don't know. They are afraid of death. What happens to the death? What happens? All those things. But for a yogi, he can foresee the moment of departure. He can foresee the moment just very smoothly, very calmly, very consciously. He can know the moment of departure. And he can leave this body very consciously, not out of confusion or fear. He can leave this body, and even he can also guide disciples, or he can guide others also about their karmic timings, what is going to happen whenever. This is like, trying to foresee things in a positive way. It's not something like, imagination, something like all those things. Now, he calls ariṣṭa. Ariṣṭa is portents. What does this ariṣṭas mean? Every person, with his knowledge or without his knowledge, gets some signs before death. Like, sudden visions he will get, sudden dreams, ಚಿತ್ರ ವಿಚಿತ್ರವಾದ ಕನಸುಗಳು, strange smells. We have heard many people saying, I am getting some kind of a smell, I haven't, but others won't get that. That means some kind of smells. Unusual body changes. There's a lot of change in the body, or even mental also. Mentally and then physically there are a lot of changes. Now, there is another aspect as birds, animals. There are natural signs behaving in odd ways around the person. When a person is surrounded by some birds, animals, they behave in a different way. They look at the person in a totally a different way. They observe. It is said that they will get some kind of a jnana of the change that is going to happen in that particular human. And some people, they feel that inner feelings of detachment or the sense of like, time is up. We have heard so many people saying, "Ayo, Sakapa, I don't want anything now. I want to live peacefully. I don't want anything like this." This is genuinely getting. It's not out of something frustration, something they're not getting. It's not. It's a genuine thing, genuine feeling of detachment, or the sense of that, oh, my time has come, like this. So most people ignore these kinds of signs or misinterpret them. These signs, they misinterpret. But a yogi, a sadhaka, a practitioner who has got a kind of a heightened awareness, his awareness is much elevated to a better place. He can read these signals, he can read these portents with more clarity and accuracy. Now, you can look at it this way also. Destiny, karma is like a woven cloth made of many threads. Cloth is made up of many threads, na? Some threads are already in front, active karma. Some threads are already in the front. Some threads are still waiting behind the loom. Dormant karma. It is yet to get into that cloth. But they both together decide our lifespan and experiences. By restraining and focusing this kind of a mento-emotional energy that is in the mind on these karmic threads, the yogi, the sadhaka, develops a kind of an X-ray vision. Its X-rays are not visible. Certain objects are not visible. For example, in the hand, the bones are not visible. Whereas an X-ray passes through, and then when taking a picture of this, you can know the shape of the bones or something like that, whatever that is inside. So he develops a kind of cosmic X-ray vision into the life and death of himself or others also. So he knows when the body will be left behind. He knows where the soul will journey next, where the soul will move next, higher or lower worlds or liberation, where it goes. He can even consciously exit the body and travel into the subtle realms. Sukshma Deha. Through Sukshma Deha, he can reach Sukshma Lokas. There are several lokas, He can enter those realms. So, what is the practical relevance of this sutra is, the sutra tells us that life is not random. It is guided by karma, past actions and present also. A disciplined mind through yoga can even see what lies beyond ordinary perception. Death is not an end, but it's a doorway. Yogis see it as a transition to another dimension of existence. It may not be life, it may be something different also, we don't know. But a yogi can visualize this, not as a destruction. Awareness of this truth, what is the practical role of awareness of this truth helps us live responsibly. Because only our actions shape our future. That is the awareness that you develop. Viewers, with this we conclude this episode. I hope this was quite interesting. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you viewers for your valuable time in listening to this. Thank you. Please post your comments after having listened to the video talk completely. Thank you.